Welcome to another Scdtv review division, and today we have a M16 A4 replica. Well, technically you might say this is a replica of a M16 A3 because we have a full auto mode, right, on fire selector. However, it is sold as M16 A4, the USMC issue. Well, not anymore, probably because they're gonna switch to M4, but okay, it is not the case this time. Well, this is, as you can see, a typical gearbox Type 2 AEG, which has a typical gearbox Type 2 magazines, Airsoft 10X as you call it. This gun comes with a high capacity magazine, metal one. However, you know what we do with those? We just, throw them away. Right, instead we just, mid-cap, low-caps, we get mid-cap, low-caps and put them into our gun. Now, this is a full metal design of this M16 A4/A3 made by Bolt Airsoft. Now, if it's Bolt, it's not a regular AEG. Why? Because of this. I don't know if it's gonna be visible, but check this out. What?
Safety.
Oh, safety, right. Safety, all right. As you can see, the whole gun moves when you pull the trigger. What happens? Because inside here the buffer tube, this time hidden in the M16 buttstock, is a weight that moves along with the piston, and that weight generates a kick. And this little feature makes a hell of a difference. You might remember we had a Bolt gun before. It was a M4 design. The one we had back then was a prototype, the pre-production model. This one is a full production model of this M16. Alright, let's begin with general looks and assembly, and then we'll be able to move on to the fun part, which is shooting Bolt Airsoft AEG. Right, so this is a full metal design. We got a metal upper and lower receiver, metal detachable carrying handle, and the metal front handguard. Right, this is a replica of a KAC M5 rail adapter system, the same as Marines get on their M16s, right? And we got the swing swivel here, barrel, outer barrel. Once we are here at the outer barrel, we need to say that it is a two-piece outer barrel. Shit. Well, I won't do it because it's, I don't know. Okay. Imagine that I just unscrew the barrel, because the first part ends here, just under the front side base, right? And this part can be, taken away, thrown away, should you need ever the, shorter barrel. You just get the flash hider off the extension and put it in here. However, in my opinion, that would look stupid on the full-length M16, but it is your choice. With this, two-piece outer barrel, we get a two-piece inner barrel, because the inner barrel doesn't end here. It has extension in this extension, right? However, we figured that during our field tests that it doesn't have impact on the gun performance. So it's a two-piece. We just screw it onto it and left it like it is now, because we don't like this stupid short M16s. However, no impact on the shooting, so it's okay with us. What else? All right, now the rail is technically glued to the upper receiver. It sits in a delta ring very firmly, no wobble. The only thing that wobbles is the upper and the lower, right? It is more or less like in old G&Ps, so nothing biggie, but the slight movement is here. Okay, now detachable carrying handle. The plastics, the pistol grip and the buttstock is of course plastic. The material is, in my opinion, very good looking, if you can say that. It looks robust and tough. It doesn't supposed to break anytime soon, right? We hope. Alright, now this is an M16, so you get a flap here. Where do I open this? Where you can put a quite large battery. So you know, if you remember with our M4, the recoil mechanism occupied the buffer tube, so you could only use batteries inside, you know, those two compartments in a crane buttstock. Here you got a whole room for batteries inside the stock, so no worries, you will fit a large battery. Okay, now under these rubber shield covers, which we get with replica right here, pretty cool, we get markings on the rail, which is good. We also get markings on the lower receiver, on the magwell, right? It says Bolt, right? Okay, no problem when it says Bolt. However, it also says B4A1 carbine, which is not good. This is not a B4A1 carbine, this is a M16 replica. So in our opinion, this might be considered as a slight flop. We would expect to have, you know, B16 A4 rifle or something, right? On the other side we have this cool Bolt sticker and the Bolt carrier imitation, right? The flap dust cover closes. It can be opened with a charging handle. We don't have any bolt release or bolt catch, no problem. I like the material and the color of the Bolt carrier imitation. What? Oh yeah, and as my colleague here remind me, the Bolt carrier moves, right? It cycles. It's called blowback. I don't know why, but whenever they say blowback in AEGs, all companies mean this silly movement of Bolt carrier imitation. This is recoil, this is blowback. We prefer recoil. Sometimes when you shoot, this bolt might stay, you know, half open, exposing the hop-up unit, which is, you know, nothing big. Just shoot one more time and it closes, right? The hop-up unit is of a new type, right? Most hop-up units now has this large dial in the axis of the replica, where you know can move up or down, right, to adjust the hop-up unit, not like the classic ones that were placed on the side of the hop-up chamber. The Bolt M4 we had the classic hop-up unit. Now this one has the new type. We're gonna show you how it works later on.
You see? That's it! 4. Lecisz! Dobra. Nieźle, co? Co? No bo proszę, cały...
How it shoots, right? I took it to a quite intense skirmish. I fired a lot of BBs. However, I put a too large battery with too high voltage. I put 11.1 LiPo. This rifle, this particular model of ours, has a muzzle velocity of about 350 feet per second. So 11 volt LiPo was too strong for it. The rate of fire was too big, and the thing that happened was that the magazines fell out of the magwell, right? The vibration of the recoil was so high that the magazine just fell out. So get yourself a good 7.4 battery for this stock model. Okay, now I had some problems with plastic magazines, right? There were some misfitting. The gun works best with with metal magazines. Here we have a metal mid-capacity magazine, and it has no problems with fitting with this magazine. With our favorite Magpul eMag, on a strong battery, the magazine just fell out. On a regular LiPo 7.4, it fed quite okay, right? Here we have the new hexagon magazines, right? Hexmag, whatever. It is plastic, polymer. However, this one fits quite good with our Bolt Airsoft M16. And as I said before, cheap plastic magazines might not work with this one. So just get yourself a metal ones. All right. All right, now we had some lousy conditions for our accuracy test. Initially we planned to shoot a rucksack, a backpack, but it was quite impossible, so we figured we could shoot me instead, right? So I was the target. Now, it's open. Oh, bees. Good. This gun has a muzzle velocity of about 350 to 370 feet per second on the 0.2 BBs, right? It depends on what chrono are you using, right? Now, at 50 meters, there were no problem to hit me, right? Our shooter Chapel aimed at my backpack and the BBs landed there. Of course, he initially had to adjust the target point, and after that he was just hitting me pretty consistently, right? The grouping was okay for an AEG, for a windy condition, and for a 50 meters, which isn't a small distance. So, well, it did hurt me, although it isn't a huge muzzle velocity, so no harm was done, right? What are you? All right, at 60 meters, as I moved 60 meters with auto fire, well, at this muzzle velocity, you could see that it was maximum effective range. Over 60 meters, I don't think it is possible to hit someone with this stock AEG. Overall, the hop-up work is excellent, right? Despite the kick, despite the recoil, the hop-up makes wonders and allows you to hit a target you're aiming at, right? As we feared that the barrel extension would impact the accuracy, thankfully it did not, right? Nothing comes out of this, strange connection between two pieces of barrel, right? So very, very accurate, as you would expect from such a long barrel AEG. So you get accurate barrel and a pretty fun kick, right? So this makes a very, very good combination. Alright, now to sum up our little adventure with Bolt M16. Okay, now as you probably remember, we had the first Bolt a few years ago, and this was the first AEG with actual recoil we ever experienced. And when we showed this to people unfamiliar with this feature, they were like, wow, 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 wow. Something new, something excellent, right? That was a few years ago. Now we had some other manufacturers that do the same thing. However, you need to remember that the Bolt was the first one. So it isn't as fresh as it was a few years ago. However, it is still something, right? It is still a recoil to your gearbox type 2 platform. Something you can't experience from other fancy AEGs. This is pretty cool stuff. The blowback, the bolt carrier movement imitation, well, it is here. I don't like these, I don't mind them, they're just there. But this is the real thing, the real recoil. However, with such a big gun, I think that personally the influence of this kick is felt less weaker than it was with M4, right? Because this is quite heavier, right? Quite big. Okay, other from that, which is I guess the main feature of Bolt AEGs, you got a solid gearbox type 2, new hop-up chamber, hop-up unit that works wonders, and a good quality rails, good quality overall finish of this AEG. So if you need something more from an AEG, and this more would be the kick, Bolt is the way to go. If you don't want a full-length rifle, you aim for carbine, get yourself M4, or I guess they're coming up with a KAC licensed AEGs, right? So this is another cool options. All of this production, all of these platforms, share the same main feature, which is the kick, which is great. Very cool AEG with this fine kick.